Hello, this is a short video to explain just one facet of the difficulty that junior doctors now find themselves in. It's an interview with a young doctor called Chris Day, and he's now in a very tricky position, but it's one that I think reflects exactly why we as members of the public and as campaigners need to keep on supporting the junior doctors.
The recent judgment in the appeal court, and that is important because that means it's binding on all other junior doctors and all other employment tribunals, basically says that the only NHS body with power over a junior doctor's career and future employment.
So that body, that one single body in charge of all the junior doctors, those junior doctors who are not just young students, they're doctors who have been in training for years, working their way towards being consultants, that body responsible for the junior doctors is Health Education England. When did Health Education England, is it an old institution or is it fairly new? Or?
It's fairly new. It came into being, I think, in around 2012 with the Health and Social Care Act. Right. So it's another great product of the Health and Social Care Act. But, you know, and that's something to consider, you know, that if that body dismisses a doctor on account of speaking openly about safety or causes that doctor detriment on account of speaking openly about safety or resourcing, that HE, if they dismiss that doctor, do not need to come to court and explain their actions to a court. So that effectively means that a junior doctor can lose their career and then not have a right to a court case.
Yep, you heard right. Health Education England, HEE, he is responsible for junior doctors, but it is not accountable for its decision making or its actions to a court. Scary. A consultant who whistleblows is covered by this whistleblowing.
So that comes back to whistleblowing law being an employment law. So the first thing you have to do when you do a claim whistleblowing protection is to prove you have an employment relationship long term with a body. Now a consultant would have a long-term employment contract with a trust, but junior doctors don't have a long-term employment contract with any one particular trust. They have this agreement for 5 to 10 years with Health Education England. So we say, our appeal says that no other NHS body other than Health Education England acts and has power over a junior doctor's career. And they do this in this function as an employment agency. And whistleblowing law has a special provision for people that aren't employed properly, shall we say, and are employed by employment agencies.
So again, I'm just trying to repeat and understand, so that I got this right. So Health Education England are behaving like an employer, but saying we're not employers.
So we would say that their claim to have no substantial influence over a doctor's career is a house built on the sand, to say the least. But they've also claimed that Parliament consciously chose to essentially deprive junior doctors of whistleblowing protection, except they've provided no evidence to substantiate that, saying that Parliament consciously chose to exclude junior doctors from whistleblowing law. We just say that's unlikely to be true. And we say, where is your evidence for that? Where is your evidence that our Parliament consciously chose one afternoon in the chamber to exclude junior doctors from whistleblowing law? I suspect they didn't. This is why we're appealing.